Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Chinist. Today is May 17th, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, and I have my haul here of 22 total with 16 different titles. So kicking it off, we have The Flash, which is part 4 of The Button. I have loved The Button so far. So I was able to pick up the lenticular cover A, cover B, the regular cover I think, and then cover C, because I love this, it's like a quasi-sketch variant of Jay Garrick, the original Flash. So man, so The Button is freaking spectacular so far, in my opinion. It has been great action. I love where they're kind of going with the overall storyline. Of course, this kind of ties together the Watchmen continuity with current DC continuity, and you know, I'm curious to see how they really tie everything together. You kind of saw there was going to be like a little preview. You knew Jay Garrick was coming back. Jay Garrick was part of the original JSA, the original, super team that ever existed, before Justice League. And I think when New 52 came around, JSA went away, Earth 2 came back around, but that became like another storyline. So I don't think that anyone from JSA has been around. So yeah, they're bringing him back. We're about to see how everything's about to fold into each other. It has been a fun ride so far. Next up, we have Super Sons, another one that I love. It's really geared towards teens, but Damian and John, man, I really enjoy both of them, both separately and then together. The dynamic that they have together is freaking spectacular. So we're getting into their own, villains that they're about to have here, and you see Superman and Batman kind of, come in time to time, but they're really carrying their own, in my opinion. And I like to see how Damian, especially is, I'm able to read him from the champion side as well as this side. And, you really see him start to grow from where he kind of started off with, maybe like Batman and Son, back then when he was first introduced. You kind of see his personality start to change. You kind of see him start to grow a little bit more of a family feel to it. He's starting to adapt, learn how to kind of work with others. So I really enjoy that, and I like to see how John is kind of getting his powers and kind of learning how to do that. So yeah, Super Sons. Okay, next up we have Star Wars. I have loved Star Wars ever since number 1 when they rebooted it on the Marvel side. So, again, this series, this current title is in between episode number 4 and 5. So this is really right before Empire Strikes Back, before they kind of head off to Hoth. And, the storyline's been great. You really see, they really adapted the characters well from the characters that we know in the movies. Their style, their posture, the dialogue that they have, you see them repeat certain lines and certain phrases that you hear them say in the movies. So it really connects you to that Star Wars universe. This really, continues that that galaxy that they started to populate here. So yeah, it's been really great. This is storyline, Dr. Aphra getting involved with Luke now at this point in time. Of course, I think Dr. Aphra is going to become a huge character going forward for Star Wars. She's basically like a female version of Han, is what she is. So yeah, Star Wars number 31. It's been good. Okay, part 4 of 6 for Red Dog. This is one that kind of surprised me. I passed up number 1. I thumbed through it, I put it back down, and I picked up number 1 through a monthly subscription that I have. I can't remember which one it was right now, either Comic Box or Blind Comics. But that number 1 really caught my attention. I'm not really a dog lover, by any means. I love sci-fi, fantasy, and I think that's what really got me. It was more the humans and the aliens on this world. The dogs were just kind of like a little side story, but learn to really enjoy them. They kind of stand alone as their own characters here in this title here. So it's been good. It's you're learning a little bit more about the Martian civilization that was going on here. They're of course a colony on Mars, like a mining colony, I think is what they are. So yeah, it's been pretty good, pretty fun ride. Different from what I thought it would be, but it's been really good. This is part 4 of 6, so I would suggest picking up that trade if it ever comes out. Next up, we have Invincible Iron Man. I love Riri. It's one of those. She's super intelligent and really starting on this superhero trek. How do you do that? How does she interact with all the all the big superheroes that have been there for a while, and I've really enjoyed it so far. She's with her intelligence, she's able to kind of take place of Tony on some. Some of the larger things that happen, with her intelligence. Her suit has been enhanced, and she's right on par to where Tony left off. So, man, this has been a really fun ride. I think, especially since Tony Stark is the AI, that takes it to another level for me. So, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get Tony Stark that you knew, and you get Riri, a brand new hero to learn and love. So, yeah, Invincible Iron Man. Okay, next up we have Justice League. I know I said I was going to get rid of this title. The last arc was just okay, and then they started this Endless. And of course, I love anything, multiple timelines, any multiple reality universes, and this one really keyed in on it. You had the situation to where the Flash, they're fighting someone, and this event just kept happening over and over again. So it's like straight up Groundhog's Day, and they're able to realize it, and they're trying to change it now at this point in time. So that little Groundhog's Day, little time loop that started happening here, that caught my attention to where I enjoyed. What are we on? So I think number 20, this is number 21. I think number 20 was one of my most favorite reads of Justice League to date since they had a rebirth. So I'm not going to be dropping it yet. Okay, next up we have Justice League with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This has been a pretty good title so far. This was better than what I anticipated, to tell you the truth. The artwork is very, very decent. I give it about a 4.25 out of 5. So that was up there, as long as the dialogue and their interaction between the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that I grew up with, watching on TV, and the superhero team that we know. This is out of continuity in its entirety, but really good job on both sides, really portraying both existing teams that we know and love. And this the storyline that they came up with, I'm not gonna get it out there, but really Zed is the main focus here. Been great so far. So yeah, really enjoyed reading through this one. Okay, next up we have Secret Empire, and I was really shocked. I couldn't really find any variants today for this one, and at the second LCS I went to, he only had one more copy of number 2. I'm like, oh my gosh, so I snatched that up before it was gone just to make sure I could read through it. But, so this one's gotten really mixed reviews online, and I've never really been a Captain America fan, to tell you the truth. Watching him in the current MCU movies right now, that really sparked my interest in Captain America more than what I ever had growing up. And so the storyline here, I've been keeping up with Captain America just through YouTube videos. But this whole change here to where, he's Hydra and he's always been Hydra, man, I thought that was a great storyline. I'm surprised this is getting mixed reviews. It seems like they're doing a lot of things trying to cram it in, which, is my only negative that I would put out there for the storyline. But, man, I really do enjoy the storyline. So, yeah, Secret Empire number 2. Okay, next up we have Curse Words. Man, I love this title. I enjoy the artwork. I enjoy the banter that the main character has, Wizard, and now you see him fighting. I think this was his previous wife or ex-lover. I'm not sure who she was, but they definitely had a relationship back in the past. And she's coming back at her master's command to basically kill Wizard, who has broken off and did his own thing on Earth, outside of the guidance that was offered to him by his master. So, yeah, man, this has been really, really good. I enjoy I usually don't enjoy magic too much, but I do enjoy this one, where he lost his magic for a little bit, had to get it back, and, just seeing this world kind of unfold. Really enjoy it. Great artwork, great action, and the comedy is there. Okay, next up we have XMen Gold. I enjoy XMen Gold a little bit more than XMen Blue at this point in time, but I do enjoy them both. I wish both were just a little bit better. I had just a little bit higher expectation jumping back into the XMen world. Still enjoy it nonetheless, and I think I may enjoy X-Men Blue just a little bit more, just because they kind of changed up the original team when they brought him back from the past with their other powers that they picked up. But this one has been pretty good. They had some good fighting in that last issue that came out. You get to see a little bit more Gambit now, and I haven't read anything with Gambit in forever, man. He used to be like one of my favorites. So yeah, really excited to get back into the X-Men world and read this issue specifically. Okay, from DC we have Trinity number 9. Trinity has been pretty decent. A couple loopholes in the first story arc that kind of came out. But I truly enjoy this one. I really see this one as the better Justice League title that was out there, with the Holy Trinity that you have going on here. So yeah, really enjoy it. And, I do not anticipate dropping this title anytime soon. This is kind of like a Justice League substitute that's going on for me. So yeah, highly enjoy it. Trinity. Okay, Teen Titans. And so this, I think 2 weekends ago now, I was able to catch Lazarus Contract that came out on Blu-ray. Loved it. I also picked up the original storyline for Lazarus Contract that I picked up through back issues in the Volume 1 of New Teen Titans. Great stuff, man. So I highly enjoy Teen Titans. I like this reboot team that they kind of started. I do enjoy, I think there's some complaints how Starfire was older, and but through that last movie that I checked out, where it's really Nightwing and her who are kind of a couple, and all the ages really work out, man. So it's kind of cool to see Nightwing, kind of come back, and in that movie, I guess he was he's been one of the Teen Titans leaders, and he kind of came back. So it's kind of cool to see both Damian and Nightwing operate, on the same team, and I thought that was pretty cool. They didn't really get along too well when Dick Grayson took over as Batman with Batman and Robin that occurred pre-New 52, I believe. But anyways, so this is going to be like an ongoing storyline that goes in between multiple titles, and Deathstroke is the main star here in this one. So just flipping through, it looks a little bit different from the Lazarus Contract storyline that came out in the movie so far. But yeah, should have had some pretty good action here in this one. Okay, next up we have God Country, and I was able to pick up both the cover A, which I thought was phenomenal, and as well as the Spawn cover. So I would typically, bag and board my variant that I got, but man, I thought this cover A was just so awesome, and I don't know why. It's just, it just really grabbed me. So I'm going to go ahead and bag and board cover A and read through this Spawn variant that I picked up. Man, God Country has been phenomenal. Excellent artwork, excellent storyline. I wish it was not a miniseries. I really wish this was ongoing. So this is number 5 of 6. So we're right about to close up the storyline here. So you find out that Valifax is the sword of a god that's owned by a god. Valifax is completely sentient. It, has its own, personality. It'll talk to you, and of course the main character here had dementia, older, and when he touches the sword, just like Jane Foster and Milner, his dementia goes away. He kind of becomes that warrior that he was back in the past. So this has been a great storyline. You're able to see the other realm that all this magic kind of came from. And it looks like we're right about to battle the god who actually owned this sword at one point in time. So yeah, great storyline. I'm sad to see it conclude here in this number 6 that's going to be coming out next month. But man, great storyline, God Country. Okay, so next up, I accidentally grabbed just one more copy than what I was anticipating. Was able to pick up just one variant for this one so far for this week. So yeah, Generation X, I was not looking to pick this one up as an ongoing series. I kind of saw this kind of catering towards maybe the teens, maybe like a Runaways type of group would be more interested in this teen mutant group that they have going on here. So I was never really a fan too much of Jubilee. I always felt that she was kind of useless. Her powers, her firework powers was useless. I'm not really sure why she got so popular, to tell you the truth. I have all of her, her first appearances and everything, because that's when I was collecting actively when I was younger. But yeah, never really too much of a fan. So I'm going to read through this one open-minded, see where it goes, but really don't anticipate picking this one up as an ongoing series. Okay, so last up, we have Britannia. This is the second storyline that Valiant has put out for Britannia. I thought the first miniseries was great. I thought it ended a little bit too quick. I wanted a little bit more storyline. This storyline kind of has like the same essence as the first one, but the main character here in this one is a female. So you have a female gladiator. You still have your your mysticism that's kind of going on in the background. You have a lot of sex, a lot of gory type stuff. What we understand the old Roman culture to have been back in the day. So yeah, great great action, great storyline. Is good drama that occurs here during this title. So yeah, Britannia, We Who Are About to Die, number 2. So that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.